EA came in clutch and dropped that trailer, man. More importantly, they dropped the blog after the trailer, and that's what we're here to talk mainly about. We'll talk a little bit about the trailer and stuff that you missed, and we're also going to go through the blog, but we're going to do more than just read it. We're going to read in between the lines and really dive into what this game is going to look like, man. First of all, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this trailer, man. I think it's a lot of mixed opinions on the trailer, man. When I'm watching it live. You got the little live chat on the side, and as the trailer is ending, I'm seeing a lot of W's. I'm also seeing a lot of L's. If you unk like me, you don't know what an L is. W, it's pretty much a loss or a win, man. People saying this trailer is a L. I don't know. I think the trailer was solid. Y'all let me know down below. Regardless, this trailer dropped some hidden details that we're going to make sure we cover, man. I'm not going to show the whole trailer. Y'all seen it already, man. So let's hop into the blog. Before we do that, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're going crazy. College Football 26, man. Ebook is coming. When college football first dropped, man, tap in. So let's hop over here to the blog, man. And as y'all know from last year, college football 25, when they dropped the trailers, all these deep dives, it's going to come with a blog post that really dive into really the stuff that we need, man. The trailer, it's a little dopamine hit. It's cool to watch. Like I said, I got mixed feelings about the trailer. I don't hate it, nor do I love it. I think it was in a good spot, maybe a little bit better than last year's trailer. Let me know what y'all thought. But this is what we're here for, man. We are here for the blog post. It dives deep into what we could expect for this next game here, man. So I'll make sure to link it down below just in case y'all do want to check it out. So with that being said, let's hop into the actual blog posting, man. First thing, we get a confirmation of high school in Road to Glory. We already knew that at this point, so let's continue to move on. We're pretty much going to highlight all the important things in this trailer. In this section right here, it kind of talks about gameplay, and one thing that we could expect is fast-paced gameplay, and that's my favorite, one of my favorite parts about college football compared to the NFL, and then also college football, the video game. I remember when the game first dropped last year, tackling was in a really bad spot, a very, very bad spot, and a lot of people wanted to be patched. Well, guess what? When the actual real-life college football season rolled around, I think everyone got a refresher of what college football actually is. A lot of missed tackles, a lot of guys, skill level is the big gap. So when you do see a lot of missed tackles in college football, that's how it should be. So they end up patching it and reducing the amount of missed tackles. It might have been a little bit overboard. But when you get this fast-paced gameplay, for me, it's more entertaining, man. I love offensive side of the ball. That's why, like I said, enjoy college football a little bit more than NFL at this point because how fast-paced the offense is. So we should continue to expect that, man. I know a lot of people love defense in here, and they might view that as a negative, but it is what it is, man. You also get improved blocking. What do that mean? What do that mean, man? Improved blocking. I feel like every single update last year improved blocking. You know, every single update that dropped. And blocking at the end of the year, I would say was in not a great spot. But is it ever in a good spot when it comes to Madden, man? Blocking is always, you know, AI blocking, whether it's getting to the second level. You got linemen getting to the third level and straight ignoring the linebacker on the second level and, you know, letting that guy make the tackle. There's some weird stuff going on. So hopefully we do actually see improved blocking. We also get custom zones, whatever that means, but should be an interesting feature. We finally get stunts and twists into the game for your D-line, man. I'm interested to see how it works. That makes me a little bit nervous because now that we have stunts and twists, to me that means like, okay, now we have better chances for the old lineman to glitch out. Because, you know, before you could run certain blitz, certain packages that will literally glitch out, whether it's a right tackle or guard, glitch a player out where they get the free rush. And now with these stunts, for me, it just make me a little bit nervous, but we'll see how it actually plays out. And also improve coverage logic. I feel like that's another one we've seen every single update. Improved blocking and coverages, whether it was zone or man. I feel like we've seen that every single update last year. So this is a generic thing they're going to put in the game. We also see that wear and tear system is in the game apparently with some upgrades, some improvements. We'll see how it actually plays out once we get a deep dive in the future. Also a lot of new archetypes, man. I'm hearing 10 new archetypes. I'm asking the question: are we getting combined archetypes? Because I hope we do. 2K, I love bringing up 2K. I'm a 2K player, man. You got like playmaking shot creator. That's an OG archetype in 2K. Maybe we finally get combined, man. Maybe it's a deep threat physical receiver, or maybe we get some type of dynamic archetypes. Like in 2K, when you change your build, when you upgrade your player, you have the ability for your archetype to change. So maybe you have a physical receiver able to change into a deep threat receiver. Maybe we'll have some stuff like that. We'll see how they actually do it out on the field. And then also we have 28 new plays and unique schemes coming to the game. That's a lot. 2,800 is a lot. 2,800 plays. I'm interested to see, because y'all know what we like to run. Everyone run the same 6 plays on offense, 2-3 plays on defense, whatever. So hopefully this actually adds something, man. For my guys that play Dynasty, this will mean a lot. But for the online, everyone just run the same stuff on online, man. Wherever the YouTubers posting, that's what everyone run. And then also we get 300 real world coaches. So this means a couple things. We get obviously a lot of head coaches. I'll be surprised if it's every single head coach in the game, but we'll get a lot of head coaches. It also could mean we get assistant coaches, or it could mean we get previous coaches. You might be able to bring Coach O back. You might get a Nick Saban, in the coach pool, and maybe you could bring him back to Alabama to coach. You might get some, it'd be interesting if you could hire ex-players. Maybe you have a guy that don't make it to the NFL. You want to bring him on as an offensive coordinator. It'd be interesting if you do stuff like that in the game. But we should see a lot of real coaches. We'll see here, man. So gameplay deep dive. So this confirms that they're pretty much doing the same system last year. They dropped the trailer, and then they're going to drop a deep dive for every single game mode or every single grouping. So you got gameplay, you got presentation, you also got Dynasty, Road to Glory. You're probably going to get a deep dive for every single thing, man. You get to see coach screenshot here from Ohio State, but we already saw that yesterday. And kind of talks a little bit about wear and tear, how it's going to be a little bit more realistic to fit your playing style, manage fatigue. We'll see what it actually is, man. In the current game, I just don't think the injury system was great. One of the biggest issues for me, I like to play realistic. And when you actually playing every single game, you would never have a guy get a long-term injury. The longest, maybe 2-3 weeks. But you wouldn't have guys get long-term injuries. They usually just get wear and tear. Even if you up that injury slider to 70, I had it on 70 for one of my dynasties, my Temple dynasty. They would just get hurt more consistently. Every other play, you'll have a player getting hurt, and he'll come back 3 plays later. But it wasn't no long-term injuries, and obviously, you don't want that, but I want realism, and that's realistic. Long-term injuries, a guy maybe breaking his hand, stuff like that, and you would not get that in the current version of the game. You would just get wear and tear, and guys just, hurting rather than actual real injuries. And so hopefully that's cleaned up a little bit next year. So this next section kind of talks about tackling and how they have an improved tackling system, and then also your user. So in some games you have your user feeling super clunky. I'm not saying in this past game we felt that, but pretty much they're trying to prevent that and make tackling a little bit more skilled. Also, you got a little bit some more animations, hit sticks, all of that. You can optimize your pass rushing ability. So it's interesting to see also the customized zones. It'll be interesting to see how this stuff works. You also get new abilities for the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we're going to get new abilities, new whatever. I wonder if we get X Factors. Maybe not. I hope not. But I wonder if they do bring X Factors, because that's popular in Madden. I hope they don't bring that to College Football 26. But we'll see when we actually get one of these deep dives if they bring that system over at some point. Home Field Advantage 2.0. Experience enhanced stadium pulse effects, including more intense camera shake, new heads-up display visual, and also clock distortion that simulates high pressure of playing as a visitor in a hostile territory, man. Okay, we're getting a little bit more intense home field advantage. Also, rivalry games, the college football playoffs, and other high-stakes matchups are now even more affected by stadium pulse. And I 100% agree with that, man. I think about this. Temple was my dynasty that I did. Y'all let me know who I should rebuild next year. I'm leaning towards Delaware. I don't know. Y'all let me know what team. But I did my Temple dynasty. If we went, let's say, to Ohio State to play at Ohio State, man. First of all, mid-year, we're a bad team. We have a losing record. Ohio State, has a good record. Why is the stadium pulse going super crazy? Why is it? It's a packed out show. Temple with a losing record going to Ohio State is probably not producing a packed out show. It's probably not. Also the fans probably not going that crazy. Everyone in the building going into the game know the result of that game. They know Temple is most likely to lose, and not to make my program look really bad, but let's be realistic. But it's no way that should be the same exact stadium pulse as, Michigan, and say Michigan, a good team, coming to Ohio State. No way that's equal. No way them stadium pulses should be exactly the same. One should be a lot more intense when you're playing a high leverage game compared to, a losing team coming to, Ohio State to get beat up on. There's no way them stadium pulses were exactly the same. In the previous game, they were. So it's good to see that should be a little bit more intense, it says, when you got rivalry games and college football games. And honestly, at halftime, if it's a blowout, especially if it's a small school getting blown out by a big school, them fans should leave. A lot of them fans should leave at halftime or the third quarter, something like that, man. Just make it a little bit more realistic instead of having, these blowout games 30-0 and you got fans sticking around for the whole game. It's just not realistic. You don't see that in real life. Also, they mentioned confidence and composure. And I don't know if confidence was in the game. Like, is confidence going to be like a trait or like a skill for each player? Like, I just wonder what that means. Confidence, I know composure is in the game to some extent. How well it was done, like how useful was it? No idea. But composure definitely is in the game. I don't know if we had conferences, man. So I'm interested to see what that actually means. I hope they just make composure. Like, let us know what exactly it's doing, man. I just want to know how much of a boost we're actually getting with confidence and apparently composure now, man. This next category is they want you to feel like it's actually Saturday. Like you're actually about to go play a college football game. And in the previous year, I think they've done a solid job. Some schools are better than others. But I think you definitely see with the trailer, man. It looks nuts. Like I said, I got mixed feelings about the trailer. One thing I don't got mixed feelings about is I think the presentation will be out this world, and then also just the way the lighting looked, and then also it looks like we got new intros. I think East Carolina also got a brand new intro, and like I said, I think I said this in another video, I hope each team get a second intro, or at least the big teams, so every single time it's not just the same intro. And when we play in the game 8, 9, 10 months in like we are now, we're not looking at the same intro from 10 months ago that we're annoyed with at this point, that we don't want to see because we've seen it 1,000 times. So at least if we had 2 that rotated, it'll be a little bit better. I mean, it'd be twice as better, essentially. So I hope we do see some stuff like that, but definitely a lot more just fight zones. You got a bunch of new fight zones in the game for teams that was missing it, man. You got a bunch of new mascots also, man. Get my Temple Owl in the game as well. But a lot of new mascots. You're probably going to get the mascot mode, man. They got some Coastal Carolina turnover chain, turnover sword, man. So just a bunch of realistic stuff that if you wasn't a fan of that program, you might not notice. But EA motto, college football motto is every program is someone's favorite program. And that's a good way to put it. So every small detail you'll notice. Y'all probably wouldn't notice anything that was wrong with Temple, like intro, whatever. But I would, because that's my team. That's where I went to college, so I know a lot more about that program. So they want every single detail to be correct. So they're getting there. I'm assuming also you see a lot of stadiums improved, when it comes to just small, minute details that you might not even notice unless you actually been to that stadium. Also, got some broadcast updates, man. Chris Fowler, I seen him on Twitter going crazy, and also Kurt been going crazy on Twitter. They be posting some of their highlights of them pretty much recording some of the game, some of the broadcast, some of the commentary. So we know that's going to be improved. Some people really didn't like the commentary. I didn't have much of an issue with it, but I know some people really didn't like it. Mine got repetitive. It's tough when you got 134 teams, and guess what? This year you got more teams. But it's just tough when you got so many different teams, so many different names to learn, to say. So it just puts them in a really tough situation. So over time, it'll continue to get better and better, especially if they drop new broadcasts and commentary throughout the year. We'll see if they do that, but I expect this to be in a little bit better of a spot next year. We heard your feedback. Okay, they heard me. They heard y'all. Most importantly, man. Trophy room is here. Trophy room is back, man. Now have your chance to show off to your friends and your rivals how successful you really are, man. So pretty much, if anyone's on your friend list, apparently they're going to be able to see your trophies for your coach. I wonder exactly how that'll work. Like if it'll happen for one coach or like your entire like file, or like for example, I play on PlayStation. Will it be my whole entire PSN how many national championships I won, or will it just be with this one coach? You know, if I make Coach J Will and name him J Will, like will it just be how many trophies he wants? I wonder how they'll do it exactly. But it's good to see this back. We needed this. It probably will be a trophy room for like each dynasty, and then like I said, I hope they have one just overall, so I see how well I did overall, how many national championships. I'm going for 100 national championships for the whole entire year across. That's a crazy number, but I'm going for 100, man, across all dynasties, Road to Glories, everything online, everything. I'm going for 100. So point is, I'm glad to hear they're listening, man. I'm super glad to hear they're listening. I'm super excited to see what else they're going to drop with the deep dives, man. When we get to that point, I'm assuming they're going to come out some point in June. I think every week in June, they're probably going to, one day we'll have a deep dive. Like they usually do like something on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think that's how they did it last year. So we'll see when that actually drops. You already know I'm covering it all. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if y'all haven't already. Now let's talk about what we all here for, man. I'm sorry if I took too long to get there. I went in order. But we got there, man. Dynasty. Come on, man. Dynasty. They say a lot right here. The only thing that matters to me, navigate the now expanded and more unpredictable transfer portal featuring thousands of players each year. I need to see what that look like. man. The transfer portal is actually making its way to college football 26, man. Because college football 25 transfer portal, that wasn't it, man. That wasn't it, man. No. Transfer portal is supposed to be super fun. It's supposed to be a fun time, man. Even if you have a lot of players from your team hop in the portal, it's still a fun time to bring a lot of players in. And just the whole thing, I don't want to say it was done wrong. Like, they would have made this one change. It would have made it better. And that one change was, when you bring in a transfer in college football 25, they never upgrade. If they would have fixed that one thing, the game would have been in a lot better spot when it comes to transfer portal. All they had to do also, if they would have fixed that thing, and then also just up the amount of players entering the portal. They could have did that last year, but they have the chance to make it right this year. So we see how unpredictable the transfer portal actually will be in the game. I'm super excited to test it because, like I said, I love the transfer portal in real life. Even though it's nasty work. You got guys jumping in the portal for all the wrong reasons. I just want that to be represented at least a little bit in our video game. So we'll see. Personnel management has never been more important, with new location-based visits having the potential to give your program an advantage in recruiting. Location-based visits. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'll be honest with y'all. Location-based visits. We're going to have to see what they do with that, because that could mean a couple things in my head. We're just going to have to see. Land critical talent for your team by managing new dynamic deal breakers. Okay, come on. They listen, man. They listen. Dynamic deal breakers. Okay. I just hope they added a lot more of those categories. You had like brand exposure, you had staying close to home, you had conference prestige. I hope they added just a lot more of them categories, man. Get an NIL category in there, man. Get a cheese category in there. But also traits while trying to retain your favorite playmakers and cement your program legacy. So we're getting new deal breakers or different deal breakers, dynamic deal breakers, and also traits. So when I say traits in the current version of the game is pretty much like your tight spiral. You got your quarterback. A lot of people didn't even know how to check your traits, but every single player got a certain set of traits. Some of them unpredictable, and that's like personality traits. So I guess that kind of directly impacts this, because earlier say unpredictable transfer portal. So if you have a player with the unpredictable trait as a personality trait, because that is in the game, y'all probably haven't seen it, but if they have that unpredictable personality trait, maybe they just might hop in the portal just because. I don't know. But dynamic traits allows us to, that's telling us the traits could change over time, whether you can influence it or not, but them traits could somehow change. With the dynamic deal breakers, this directly impacts the transfer portal. So this will lead the guys hopping in the portal. I hope this also means decommits. And decommits is not fun for the school. You finally get your 5-star to commit, he decommits. We see it happen all the time. You had a 5-star just commit to Oregon. He hopped in the pool with Dan Lanning. They did the video. I'm committing to Oregon. Run with Dan Lanning, head coach of Oregon. They hop in the pool, and like a week later, he decommits. It happens, man. It happens in college football. But are we going to finally see like consistent decommits in the actual video game? Like I said, a lot of people probably wouldn't like that, but that's the reality of the sport, and I want the game to be a little bit more realistic, even if it's not the most fun mechanic. It is what it is. It happens in real life, man. So I'm interested to see what dynamic deal breakers actually mean. Do that mean like if you have a guy who's a 3-star and his main thing was staying close to home, but somehow he has a breakout season, has a phenomenal year. Now his deal breaker shifted. He don't want to stay close to home no more. He don't care about being at that small school. He don't care about staying in Philly and going to Temple. Now his deal breaker changed, and now it's pro potential. Now he's going to transfer to Penn State because they're going to give him the best chance to go play running back, whatever position, and make it to the NFL. So that's what I think about when they say dynamic deal breakers. Will it be like that, or will it be just, a little bit different? I think the way I listed it will actually be beneficial and realistic because that's kind of how it happens in real life, man. Also, it's right here on the screen. If y'all ain't read it by now, look up. Crossplay is here, man. Crossplay is here. Online Dynasty's cooking, man. Online Dynasty's on the way, man. All college football 25, or maybe not all, most of it, I ran an online Dynasty. Just know, college football 26 online Dynasty first week is dropping. I might have 2 of them things. We'll see, man. And now we're able to have Xbox players and PS5 players all in one Dynasty, so it's going to go nuts. So make sure y'all tap into the ebook/membership if y'all interested in joining that, or just hit me up. Hit me up somehow, Instagram, Twitter. Just let me know, and we're going to make it happen, man. Super excited for the crossplay, man. Maybe even get a creators Dynasty going. We'll see. And they tried to sneak this in here, man. Formation subs. I'm sure you already know this at this point, man. Formation subs. A lot of y'all love formation subs or been asking for it a lot. It's in the game. It's in the game. I just hope it's working. I hope it's right. So formation subs, that's a big one, man. It seems like they're listening. It seems like they're listening, man. And like I said, this is only the initial. Like, we're going to get a deep dive into all of this stuff. And I'm assuming we're going to get more information with every single deep dive. Dynasty, Road to Glory deep dives. We're going to get more information. So for us to get all of this, I'm in a good spot. Road to Glory, man. Damn, I might have to play it this year. I played one season of Road to Glory this past year, and I played it like a month ago. So I played it way after the game dropped. I just wasn't interested when the game first came out in Road to Glory. I might have to touch it week 1 this time, man. They got 10 new archetypes, and you get to start in high school. Also, they talk about a highlight tape to earn a scholarship. I mean, listen, that sounds pretty darn cool, man. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. 10 archetypes. They didn't say positions, so maybe archetypes do mean positions, but we'll see, man, if you actually could play different positions. One thing I want in the game that would definitely convince me is two-way players. Any way we could be Travis Hunter and I Road to Glory? Any way. At least let us do in high school. I want to play running back and linebacker. Realistic in college? No, not at all. Wide receiver and corner to play in college? One thing. Running back and linebacker? Yeah, that's another thing. You probably can't do that. But it's a video game. I want to do that in my Road to Glory. So we'll see if they actually put two-way players in the game at all for Road to Glory. And hopefully they just make it work for Dynasty. Because first of all, you can't even have a real two-way player in Dynasty without it being like a whole finesse. Hopefully they actually make it work for Dynasty also. So also, you obviously got some type of hat ceremony when you commit to a school. But also, they put decommits in the game for high school. Or for Road to Glory, I should say. So, decommits in the game. You could decommit from a school now. I mean, they say if you commit early, I don't know what the benefit is to committing early, like in real life, or I know the benefit in real life, but in college football, Road to Glory, I don't know what the benefit will be, but you could apparently decommit from school. It also talk about coach trust, which has been in the game, but build team chemistry. Is that going to be a factor in this game now, man? is team chemistry something in this game? Like, because in 2K, when you do your franchise in 2K, team chemistry plays an impact in morale, and morale, I believe, boosts their overall a little bit. So that's how it kind of impacts 2K. So I'm wondering if they're bringing a similar feature over to college football, or if this just Road to Glory, or will you actually see this in Dynasty? Because team chemistry is a real thing, man. It's a real thing. You need some team chemistry to play football. It's 11 guys on the field at once, man. You need some team chemistry. So maybe if you don't bring in as many transfers, or you bring back a roster of seniors, maybe that'll boost your team chemistry. I don't know, but hopefully that feature is actually in the game, man. The more stuff that's in this game, in my opinion, the better, man. The more details, the better. And then also, you get to navigate a competitive recruiting process, so we see what that actually looks like. And then also, you can obviously import your guy to Madden and go on to Superstar mode. How many of y'all guys did that? I don't know if a lot of people did that. We need to be able to import them draft classes over to Madden, man. That's what we want, man. Just make it so you can import everything over to Madden. Just make it like that. Obviously, you can't import the NIL guys. I get that. But once you have a fully, AI-generated draft class, let us import that over to Madden, please, man. Get that in the game for us. Appreciate that. Next, we talk about Ultimate Teams, and this is it. Okay. Listen, hey, I'm not an Ultimate Team guy. If you're an Ultimate Team guy, hey, that's all they got, man. That's all they put there for you, man. They focus on the offline game modes, which is probably good, because Ultimate Teams could be their big money maker. It could be, because once you buy the game, if you're only playing Dynasty, you're not spending any more money on the game. If you're only playing Road to Glory, you're not spending any more money on the game. If you're playing Ultimate Teams as your primary game mode, you probably spending maybe not a good amount of money. You're probably just spending money on the game throughout the year. This is the only mode where you actually have to continue to spend money for your team to be good. At least that's my image of Ultimate Teams the past couple years for college football and then also Madden. So for them to not focus on it, I feel like says a lot, man. It says where their heads at. So they're not really focused on Ultimate Teams, man. I probably tried this year. Haven't played it at all. Haven't even opened the mode, man. Opened no packs. So no idea about that. Also talk a little bit about road to the college football playoffs. My first time playing this was pretty recent, man, and it's cool. It's not the best thing in the world. Apparently they're making it a little bit different with how you progress, level up, whatever. So that should be interesting. Team Builder makes its return, of course, and it should be improved and better. So you'll be able to use your college football 25 teams and college football 26 seamlessly, apparently, which is actually pretty cool if you want to transfer over your teams. I just hope with Team Builder, so the first half of college football 25, when you made a Team Builder, you could, all them players are fake, of course, when you make a Team Builder. You could go in, when it's actually on the video game, you could go in and you could change their overalls, change their names. For a creator, that's useful. But they took that feature out for some reason, so you could no longer edit team builder players. Just give us as much stuff as possible, man. Also, another thing, random, but this needs to be in the game, man. Create a recruit. Why can't we create a recruit that's going to be in a recruiting class, man? Stuff like that. Give us more options than not, man. We need more options. It makes the game better. So when they drop the Dynasty Deep Dive, that's when we'll learn more about the team builder. But they do say roster editing options. Okay, we'll take that, man. Should be a little bit better roster editing options. Team builder content can be used in offline play and a private dynasty, but you still got to be connected to the internet. I mean, okay. I know a lot of people had complaints that, I want to do a team builder, but, I might be going on vacation where I'm not going to have internet. I want to be able to play it offline. It's niche, but you should be able to do it. This year, you still will not. If you don't have online access, you will not be able to pretty much play your offline or your online team builder. You essentially will not be able to play it, which is unfortunate, but I kind of get why. And that's the end of the document, man. A lot of stuff going on. Man. I'm interested to see when these deep dives actually going to drop. Like I said, I'm assuming probably 2 weeks. Some point in June, we'll probably get them, man, and they'll probably all come within a week, or that's how they pretty much did last year. But a lot of information here. I think one thing I didn't end up covering was music. apparently all them drums, it was cool. It was cool the first week or two, but at some point it got played out. They're making that a little bit better. They're adding more of them drums, more bands, whatever. Just not the same as I think all year. It got a little bit annoying. But y'all, please let me know, W or L. W or L, win or loss for this whole entire trailer. The blog is a W, man. I know the blog is a W. Even though it probably don't have as much, like, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments. It don't have this one thing. It don't have that. Just be a little bit patient. It might come with the deep dive. It might. It might not. But just be a little bit patient, man. They couldn't get everything in the game. Let me know what y'all think. Are y'all excited for College Football 26? Because I'm excited, man. I'm excited. EA, invite me down to play the game early. What we doing here? Invite me down, man. Other than that, if y'all enjoy the content, like, comment, subscribe, man. Click the video on the screen now for more content. We on to the next one.